On this week's Talking with Topher, 22 days left of summer, everybody. It's not over yet. Holy crap, this is a lot to unpack. I did not deny it. You can take pictures and you can send it out and you can be like, hey, take a look at this for me, right? So I did it. And now let's get into episode 178. What is happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back on this August 31st, 2023, and I'm so glad to have you all back here with me. Oh, man, you heard me right. August is over. We got 22 days left of summer, everybody. It's not over yet. Labor Day weekend is not the end of summer. The kids going back to school is not the end of summer. September 22nd is the last day of summer. And you know what? I'm going to soak it up until the end. I know it's the unofficial end of summer for everybody, but guess what? It's not over. But I'm just having fun. I do want to start out the way I always do. I want to say thank you. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you and welcome to the new subscribers. And if you're new to the podcast, just checking it out, stopping by, maybe somebody sent you the Linktree link. Well, click that subscribe button, all right? It's what helps out the podcast. It helps it grow, and it keeps me coming back week after week. So go ahead, stomp on, smash, or just click that subscribe button, all right? If you want to get more involved with the podcast, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. It's the official email of the podcast. This is not a scam. Want to be a guest? Send an email, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And then, of course, the link tree. It's right here at the bottom of the screen. It's also found in the description below the video. You can click it, share it. It's the easiest way to find everything TwT. And now with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's episode. It has been a wild time. I have to say, I almost ran out of episodes to edit. So this one is almost current, which is fun. I haven't done that in a long time. It's been weeks since I've done a podcast the week of it actually releasing. So it's kind of fun. Got some great topics for later on. But what I've been dealing with personally is, I'm going through, some changes in my life, right? Some massive things happening. And my OCD, I think it's my anal retentiveness or my OCD, either one of them are so frustrating to me. I get stuck on a lot of things. If I get out of my routine, right, and I can't accomplish what I'm supposed to do within my routine on a specific day, I lose it. I lose it mentally. I lose it physically. Sometimes I'll lose it by getting upset, yelling and screaming. I'm angry. I don't even know what I'm angry at. And then I realize, it's because this is what I'm supposed to be doing and it's not getting done. And now with this new position, with my position, now I am just trying to wrap my head around going to Florida. And everybody out there is probably like, oh, poor you. You're going to go to Florida. Boo. Yeah, I know. It's horrible. It's horrible. But you know what? I'm not going to say that it's horrible. But what I'm getting at is that I have to completely change my routine. I have to completely change everything I do on a day in, day out basis while I'm there. I don't even know where I'm staying, how it's going to go, what it's going to be like, how is flying going to be? I have all these thoughts in my head of everything going drastically wrong, luggage being lost, getting there, you can't check in on time. I'm imagining everything just not working. And that's tough for me. It's really, really tough because I want everything to be smooth, but in my life, nothing is ever smooth, right? It's always a rough time, or something gets in the way, or we can't complete step A because we don't have part B. You know what I mean? It's just the same old, same old. I have always struggled with everything that I do. And now I have to tell myself that I'm capable of finding routine in Florida. So I am really trying to work on that. I've had a bunch of anxiety from it. I've definitely been worried about it. And, I do understand that this is more of, I don't know if it's really privilege compared to just being my position. But it's just crazy to me that no matter how many times I tell myself it's going to be fine, it's going to be okay, I'm going to be able to get this done, we'll have, everything we need for podcasting and jujitsu and work will be there. And of course, with all my free time, not having to do house chores, take care of dogs, and or clean up after myself and my wife, then I will be able to go to the gym. I'll be able to record more episodes. They may not be as high of quality, but at least I'll be able to do it. I can edit on my laptop. I can do certain things. So even though my life is going to completely change, and I'm not even sure when, and you want to top off the anxiety cup, it's also possibly going to be the week of my wife's birthday. Out of everything that's stressing me out, that got me more stressed out. Even though she says, I could just go hang out with my friends and I can do this and it'll be fine, I know deep down inside it's not fine. I don't give a shit about my birthday. I could care less that I'm turning another year. I care more about my sobriety year from alcohol than I care about my actual birthday. It's way more important to me. It holds way more value. Me turning a year older is just, who cares, right? Who cares? But when it comes to her, I care. And I want to be there for it. And I don't think I'm going to be. And that's tough for me. But all of this change is tough for me because I am a creature of habit. Creature of habit, everybody. I had to rearrange everything for this career that I'm in now. That was difficult, but I got it done. Now that I've been running through this career for 9.5 months, I figured it all out, right? I figured it all out. I've got it all mapped out. Everything is perfect. And now I have to change it again. And my brain just breaks. It just breaks. And I don't really know why it breaks, why I have these issues inside my head. But that's one of the reasons why I'm back in therapy now. We're discussing things. We're going over stuff. I unloaded on him. When I first got in there, he was really like, holy crap, this is a lot to unpack. I did not deny it. And it's just part of the process, right? I needed to find out if I was going to feel comfortable, and I am. And now we're going through the steps. Now, also, mind you, when I went through this process, and I've been through this process many times, I also let him know that I've been through this process. I've been through this process for X, Y, and Z. I've been through this process for just me. And I've also been through this process for my the drugs that the doctors had put me on. And I had to let him know that I'm not here for any of that this time. I'm here to talk. I kind of have an idea of what's bothering me, but it could go deeper. But I want to get to the bottom of this, and I don't want any drugs. No drugs. None. And he looked at me and he was like, really? Nothing? And I go, no, I don't want anything. And I'm just imagining in my mind every single person walking through the door. I have anxiety. I have depression. I have this. I have. Give me drugs. And I was not that person. He was a little thrown back by it. But you know what? That's the way I work. You know, I'm always very upfront with my physicians, therapists, psychologists, or is it psychiatric? God damn it, I can never get it right. I just call them shrinks. I call them shrinks. They're the people that can give you pills, right? Psychiatrist, that's the name. So psychiatrists can give you pills, a therapist cannot, and I am making sure that they are just aware that I'm not there for meds. It's not what I'm there for. Even my doctors, when I had my nose surgery, they wanted to give me all kinds of shit. And I'm like, I don't want an aspirin, right? Because why? Because I want my body to talk to me. I want my mind to tell me, you know, as we start digging through and figuring out, maybe getting even close to what is going on inside of my head. And I'm hoping this is also going to help me get my OCD under control, right? That's what I want to do. I want to control everything. I want to control every aspect of my temper, my depression, my happiness, my sadness, all of it. I want to control it all. When I want to turn it on, I want to turn it on. When I want to turn it off, I want to turn it off. And if I don't want it to happen, I want to stop it before it does happen. And I have realized that a lot of the anxiety and deflation that I've had happens to be when my routine is broken. So another thing I'm going to bring to him, you know, I'm supposed to go back again this week. It's a once a week thing. I definitely did not have to do twice a week. I made that very clear in the way that I spoke and the way that we discussed things. So, and the only reason I'm letting all of you in on any of this is because I know there's people out there right now that are thinking about it or have thought about it and then didn't do it. If you feel like it's what's going to help you, do it. There's places out there that help you, and they're willing to work with you if you don't have insurance. I know it's not cheap, right? But neither is your vape. Neither is whatever drugs you're hooked on. Alcohol. Being alive today is so expensive, right? Everything is expensive. But the way I look at this is that it's a tool that I need to use right now. It could last 4 weeks. It could last 6 months. It could last 3 years. But when I utilize a tool, I'm going to use it to its fullest extent. And then when I don't need the tool anymore, I can put it away. So if you're out there and you're doubting or you're questioning or you're wondering whether or not it's for you, I say give it a shot. Give it a shot. I really do enjoy it. When I finally realized that it was something that I can do for myself and I'm not being told what to do, it makes it so much better. It makes the experience easier. It makes opening up easier because I don't feel like it's the court listening to me, right? This guy is listening to me because I'm paying him to, first of all. Let's get that out of the way, right? But also, I believe that they care about their patients. So I'm excited that I finally, getting this going. I'm not happy about my OCD issues because I feel like it really limits me at the end of the day. I feel like I get very limited to what I can do because as soon as I get home, I have to do this. If this all isn't done, I can't do anything else, right? It makes me late to everything because I literally and physically cannot not do these things before I leave, before I go out, before I go on to the next thing, right? Some people with OCD have to shut a door 15 fucking times and tell themselves that they locked it 30 times before they can walk away from the house. I don't have that issue. I just have things that need to be done. In my mind, they need to be done. It's not an exception. And when I'm not capable of doing them, my whole world falls apart. And it's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. But I want everybody to understand that no matter what side of you're on, whatever one that you deal with, that's yours, right? And this is mine. OCD has many, many branches to it. It's not just the tics and, the over cleaning and all these other things that it used to be. It's so much more because everybody has a different OCD symptom. And I don't know what mine's called. I don't know. I don't even want to categorize it. I don't even care. I would just like to be able to diffuse it, I think is the word I'm looking for from time to time. I would like to be able to go, I got up late, crap, all right, just take a shower and feed the dogs, and now we leave. But I know that in my mind, I'm going to be sitting there going, well, I got to finish this. I got to finish that. I got to get this done. If I don't do this now, I'm going to have to do it when I get home. What are you going to do when you go to Florida? I have no idea. I'm freaking out. So even though I'm very excited for the Florida location, it's going to, be number 12. It's tough. It's tough to figure out, but with me working with my therapist, talking about it, going through motions, me constantly doing what I'm doing right now, which is telling myself I can reschedule, I can change things, and I can find everything that I need to survive in Florida. You can't not find everything you need to survive. It's very simple. I'm not going to die if I don't go to jiu-jitsu. I'm not going to die if I don't make a podcast for all of you out there, but mentally, I will. Mentally, I'll be dying. So I'm going to get it all figured out. It's going to be fun. I'll probably end up doing it from the hotel room or wherever I'm at. So it'll be a fun couple week episodes that I'll record there. I'm still working on getting some guests. It's been very tough. People are very, very tight with their schedules right now. So bear with me. I'm working on it. And on another note, I finally realized that what's going on kind of inside my body. Now hear me out. So I go to the bathroom. This is going to get a little gross, but so if you don't like it, you know where the timestamps are. But all right, so I eat the same thing every day, right? It's the same shit. It's either hamburger or steak with greens of some sort, mostly spinach. Not all at the same time, but I try to give myself 6 grams of salt throughout the day. And then a baked potato with some olive oil on it. All right, very clean, whatever, boring, right? Boring. How do you eat it all day, every day? I don't know. I just do, and it's only once a day. Everything else in between or in front of or behind is different, but it's the same all the time. So I go to the bathroom on the regular, right? Every morning. It's pretty good, pretty solid. We're okay. It's always the same color. Well, I went to a family gathering, and there was hamburgers, and sausages and cookies, and then of course it was cake and all these wonderful things that I don't normally indulge in. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I am just going to chow down. I'm going to enjoy myself. I do have to be up front. I was hurting the next day. So I hate that. I hate it so much, but I was hurting the next day. So what I did, so I go home, I wake up, I go through my motions. Everything's looking fine. It's looking fine. Then the next morning, and I don't know, I guess it takes 24 hours. I really have never really paid attention, but I did pay attention to my movement. And oh my God, there was food coloring, right? Black food coloring, teal, just some dark colors on that cake. And I will say it, my shit was black. Black as night. I mean, was it all just the food coloring? Was it everything I ate that my body was like, this is poison, right? Because I don't eat sausage, but it's amazing. It's so good with cheese inside, and it's so good. It's so good. So I was like, oh my God, what happened? And I had to think about it because it was over 24 hours later. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. This can't be from the party, can it? It was. Because I always reach out to my gastrologist or my doctor when things are not right. You can take pictures and you can send it out and you can be like, hey, take a look at this for me, right? So I did it, and I was like, oh, what's it? And they were like, no, everything looks fine. It's just a little dark. And I went, oh, okay. So I'm assuming it's the food color, but we wouldn't be able to tell without a test if you want to take a test. And I'm like, no, I'm not taking a test. I know what it is. I know what I put in my body. It's not like I'm guessing here. But I just wanted to see what you thought about the discoloration of it. And they were like, no, I mean, you probably ate something and your body just got rid of it and was, So I was like, oh, okay, great. At least, I don't have anything to worry about. Everything went back to normal the next day. It was fine. But, man, it freaked me the fuck out. It freaked me out because I'm like, oh my God, what happened? What did I do? Because I forget things and I forget what I eat sometimes, but I have to, reflect and remember and think about it. And I was like, oh, okay, it was probably the cake with the food coloring. That stuff probably no good for us in general. And now it shows. It shows, right? Because it is black, different color, out of the ordinary. And I was like, my God, all right. How many people out there see this and it's just an everyday thing? When you eat clean, you take care of things, right? You're doing things properly, and I consider them to be proper because my gastrologist said that I'm doing them properly. So when I see something like that, I go, what is wrong? But again, how many people out there just do this on a regular basis, after going to a gastrologist, I found out that, we shouldn't even really be gassy. Farting all the time after you eat is actually your system, disagreeing with whatever you put into it. It's not because of anything else except for your body trying to get rid of a toxin. And then the only way to get rid of it is through making gas. And I was like, you're fucking pulling my leg. And he goes, no, I'm not pulling your leg. It's your body having trouble getting rid of something. And that's what it does. It makes gas. You get rid of the gas, and then it finally passes. And then it's fucking hurricane season on the toilet. And I was like, really? And he's like, technically, you should never really be gassy after you eat. You shouldn't be farting. And I was like, dude, you're fucking lying to me. You're lying to me. And you know what ended up happening after I cleaned up my diet and did everything? I hardly ever fart anymore. Ever fart. I did a little bit after eating all that garbage, but I was like, oh, that's unusual. right now. That's something I'm not used to doing anymore, right? So people who have shitty shits and super gas all the time and stomach pains and the burbling and the gurgling, that's actually your body having trouble digesting. It really is. And I found that to be really interesting. But I've always been hesitant about talking about poops on here. So I just really wanted to do it. I can't stand it when people always tell me, "Oh, I don't understand why you don't food, blah." And I'm like, dude, it doesn't mean anything to me. I wish more people felt the way I did about food, because then you would realize how easy it is to just eat so it doesn't hurt you, you know? But it's difficult today. People have a real hard time with it, and I completely get it. I mean, they don't make it easy for us to not eat the things that we're not supposed to, you know? They tell us everything that's good for us, right? That's actually healthy is bad, and they tell us everything that's bad for us that they say it's good. This is good. And I saw a thing, and I'm going to say it right now, right here. Sugar causes diabetes. I saw a fucking thing, and I don't have it in the topics today because I saw it on television. They were doing some ad or something, or CTV. I don't know. It's on my Samsung TV. It's built in if you have an antenna and you just want to use the free stations. And I was listening, and they're talking about, there was a caller called in about having diabetes and whether or not the amount of sugar that they were taking in would have caused them to become diabetic. And they said no. What? How is it okay for anybody to say that diabetes 2, which is the one that's you give yourself, right, from eating shitty foods and just eating garbage all the time and not taking care of yourself? I think it's diabetes 2. Diabetes 1, you're born with it and you're stuck with it for life. You can't get rid of it. If you give yourself diabetes, you can get to a point where it can kill you, or you can turn the corner and get rid of it or get it under control, which I know people that have done that too. But I could not even believe that they were going to sit there and be like, sugar doesn't cause diabetes. Are you fucking serious? And it makes me so angry that they get to keep lying to us. It's just like the Oxycontin shit. It's just like the food pyramid. It's just like everything government run. They just lie. Why? Because the lies support corporations. And as long as we are building up the corporations, making money, making more profits every year, nothing else matters. Let them get sick. Let them get diabetes. Let them die. Why? They're just going to go to the doctors. Now we just help the doctors, right? We help the corporations make money by making you sick. And now you got to go to the hospital where they're going to give you pills, make you sicker, and then insurance doesn't cover it and you die. I mean, it's just this endless wheel of bullshit all the time. And I was absolutely blown away. I also listened to a podcast recently, and I knew I was right. My doctor didn't say I was right, but listening to this guy talk about leaky gut and how massive amounts of sugar. Now, he was an alcoholic who substituted his alcohol for sugar. Exactly the same thing that I did and almost every alcoholic out there. When you quit drinking, you go to sugar. It's the only way to trick your body and brain into thinking that you're drinking, because the more sugar intake that you get, the body and the mind go, whew, we're going to get drunk, but it never happens. You're just substituting sugar for alcohol because alcohol is sugar. So when you overload yourself with sugar, you trick the brain. It's a fantastic way to do it, but you don't do it with 5-pound bags of Swedish Fish and Sour Patch Kids and M&Ms and every goddamn thing that I was eating. You just don't want to do that. It's not going to be good for you. So he goes on to explain about how the amount of sugar he put into his body to help him not drink, all of a sudden, he wound up with leaky gut. And I went, that sounds exactly like me. And so, of course, with a lot more science and a lot bigger words, he got into the whole thing. Basic gist of it was that the leaky gut was caused by sugar. And then he had to fix the leaky gut. And then he had to maintain his diet. And then he had to cut out all the shit that was giving him leaky gut, but was also helping him with his alcoholism. And I went, oh my God, that's my story. That's me. I did that. But it wasn't me. It was somebody else. Much smarter than me, much more educated. But it was a really good listen, and it just really helped me understand that I was right. You know, I didn't have leaky gut before I started all that sugar. And then for a year, I'm just down in massive amounts of sugar my first year off of alcohol. Leaky gut. But guess what? It can come back, and it doesn't have to be sugar that can cause it again. I found out that even my diet that I'm on today could potentially lead back to leaky gut. It's just a fucking thing now. It's like heat stroke, right? Same idea. Once you get heat struck, but yeah. It's very easy to have it happen over and over and over again. Well, now my leaky gut is one of those symptoms. Once you get it, you can subside it, you can take care of it, you can maintain it, but it can always come back. I was like, wow, I had no idea. No idea. It was crazy. It was so crazy to me. And now a word from my sponsor. Unleash your style. Discover slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com, where fashion meets individuality. Get ready to elevate your style game and make a statement that's uniquely you. At slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com, they believe that clothing is an expression of your personality. Their collection is designed to empower you, inspire confidence, and help you embrace your true self. Crafted with precision and passion, their garments are meticulously made using the finest materials, from luxurious fabrics to impeccable stitching. Every piece reflects their commitment to quality. They understand that comfort is key, which is why they have carefully designed each garment with your comfort in mind. Experience the perfect blend of style and coziness that will keep you looking and feeling great all day long. Don't just take my word for it. Join the slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com community, where style mavens and trendsetters come together. When you're dressing for your everyday wardrobe or seeking that one statement piece, slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com has you covered. Their wide range of styles and sizes ensures that everyone can find their perfect fit. Unleash your style and make a lasting impression with slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. Visit their website today. Join the fashion revolution and let your clothing tell the story. slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. Your style, your story. Woo! And I'm back, everybody. All right, what a short break that was. I really do thank my sponsors. So slow down. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the podcast. It's very important. But right now, there is a crazy fucking thing going on. I mean, it is time for Topher's Topics. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. So, I don't know how fast the team was going. I'm sure we'll find out more. It's crazy town, okay? A car's engine block launched into the air, lands inside of a home, and fatal Belchertown crash. Oh, I mean, you launched your engine block? Ah.
And take a look at this. You can see those two giant holes in the brick house. Right now, crews are working to stabilize the side of this house. The homeowner here tells me this crash and the damage done to her home are difficult to process.
We couldn't go in.
Standing outside her home on North Main Street, Donna Sims looks at the gaping holes in the brick wall.
I'm hopeful maybe we can go in and get a little bit of our stuff. Salvage a little bit of our stuff.
Now, state police are investigating the deadly crash that led to Sims's home being condemned.
Engine's still upstairs. They gotta get it out.
State police say troopers tried to pull over a 19-year-old from New Hampshire around 8:45 last night. They say he sped off, running a red light before losing control on a curve. The car tore through landscaping, hitting a Jeep, sending it into the air and right into the side of the house.
Bricks have been falling. It's from I guess, the roof all the way to the basement. Structural damage.
Investigators say the teen was
Oh
thrown
God.
from the car, landing in the yard where he died. They're looking into whether he was driving under the influence, saying empty beer cans and a fake ID were found inside the car.
It's just a tragedy. Too young.
As police investigate, neighbors are hoping the town does something about the street, saying speeding and the curve where the crash happened are major issues.
I'd like them to improve this road so that you have a better view, so things like this don't happen.
I mean,
Now you're taking
a better view is not going to help worth anything. It's really not. I mean, this kid is a fucking moron. And you know what proves that he's a moron? He's dead. He's dead now. He's dead. He's an idiot. This is what's going on our roads right now. This is the problem that we're all facing today. We're all facing it. It's insane. Nobody wants to go the speed limit. Everybody wants to go 100 miles on the fucking highway, and no one knows how to use a blinker, stop sign, or yield. It is insane. Insane. What is wrong with all of you people out there? What is wrong with you? Right? Because it isn't just this 19-year-old. This is like everybody on the road today. I see 60, 70-year-old people running stop signs like they don't fucking exist today. It's crazy town. But this is what you get when you're not I'm not going to say a good driver, but a seasoned driver, maybe been driving for a long time, and then you push that car too fast. And this is what happens. Like, I know for a fact I drive too fast, right? I do. It's fine. But I know when I hit a certain speed limit, my car starts to feel a little floaty, right? I start feeling it sway. And I'm like, ooh, too fast. Let my foot off the gas. Let her come back down. All of a sudden, she feels stabilized. Okay, we're good. 19-year-olds don't understand that. They've been on the road for maybe 3 years. And you know what I found? I found this out a while back, but a lot of people are waiting until 18, 19, 20, 21 to get their license today. Why? Because you don't have to drive. You got Uber. I didn't have that when I was a kid. I didn't even think that kids would ever get to the point where they didn't want to drive. I can't believe that. All I ever wanted to do was drive because it gave me my freedom away from my parents, away from everything. I could do what I wanted. Yeah. Not today. Nope. They don't want to do it. All right. So, other sad news. Hawaii on fire. Crazy town, man. Supposedly, we found out more information. What happened is there was an electrical wire down. There's been a video released of it causing the initial spark and fire, and then the winds picking it up and then having its way with this part of Hawaii, which is I don't know where. But as you can see here on the map, we've got the Big Island of Hawaii. We got Maui, and Lahaina. All right, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce shit. Okay, but you got, what is it? Hawaii's the Big Island. Then you got Maui. Then you got Lahaina, and then you have Lanai. Then you have Molokai, Honolulu. Oh, I know that one. And Oahu and Kauai. So you've got different parts of Hawaii. And then there's about 2,000 miles from the mainland. Maui faced the threat of destructive wildfires that would soon erupt into an inferno. More than 100 lives were lost. I think as of right now, we're at 119, I think I can say safely, and there's 8. Is there like 80 people or 100 and something people maybe missing still? They still haven't located them, or 800 people, something like that. It's a crazy number that they haven't identified or found yet. They're just missing. It's tragic. But the perfect storm, a perfect storm of conditions led to the deadly blaze that drought-blanketed swaths of the archipelago played a major role. Hurricane Dora, meanwhile, turned into the Pacific several hundred miles south. The islands were not under hurricane warnings. Still, the storm results low pressure paired pressure to the north created strong winds that would fuel the destruction. So you can see that it's really red over here, orange and yellow. That's where the fires were really cooking. And then quickly spreading, wildfires ignited into what Governor Josh Green described as likely the largest national disaster in Hawaii state history. Several fires hit Maui hard, leaving over 2,200 buildings damaged. Here's a look to what happens, to what lies the ruins. So you got all this smoke going on. Tuesday, August 8th, 12 a.m., brush fire emits heavy smoke. Maui's upcoming upcountry region, later growing to about 1,000 acres. At least 50 people take cover at an emergency center. 6:40 a.m., an upcountry fire is raging. It's shown on the mat as hot spots. You can see the cluster right here. Smaller brush fire fueled by stronger winds, prompts evacuations. Fire officials declare 100% contained just before 9 a.m. Then you got 9:26. The National Weather Service in Honolulu issues a red flag and high wind warnings as the fire threats increase. Then you've got 3:30 p.m. A Lahaina fire flare-up prompts evacuations of road closures, shelter-in-place advisory on the western Maui. I mean, this is just insane. Look at that fucking blaze, man. I mean, you can also see to my left, look at how it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger over here. They say that Hawaii's acting governor issues an emergency proclamation to activate assistance from the state's National Guard. 4:45, evacuations are continuing. Neighbors after an early flare-up. You can just see everything ablaze. 550 Air Force, who is new to Hawaii, of course, keep watching on the left. It keeps growing. Everything was on fire at the point I had to stay on the ground to wait for thick smoke to clear. You know, you got blowing embers in the wind, looked like it was raining fire. They evacuated around 8 p.m. local time. And then you got I mean, people are jumping off the island into the water just to get away from this. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. I'm going to get to my point in a little bit. 9:45, Coast Guard begins rescuing people from the Pacific fucking Ocean because they are in it, right? That must be over here in Lahana. Active fires detected, yeah. Coast Guard begins the rescuing people. I just said that. Breathing through a wet shirt didn't stop heavy smoke from seeping into their lungs. I mean, yeah, you're gonna be coughing up black shit. This is no good to be breathing. I mean, look. If you're not gonna put it in a fire pit, right? You shouldn't be burning it, and you shouldn't be inhaling it. This is an entire neighborhood, many houses and all kinds of shit that should not be on fire, So you definitely should not be breathing this stuff in. It is not healthy. 11:52, the Hawaii National Guard deploys on Maui as wildfire burn out of control. Christina Lovett watched the boat she had put every penny into go up in flames over the waters on Maui Tuesday evening. To see this beautiful thing I've spent my life on just disappear. It was just a most tragic thing I've ever witnessed. Some good came from her time on the water. Yep, that's great. It's sad. That sucks, man. But that fire made it off of land, onto a dock, down the dock, and onto boats. I mean, this is like crazy town. So now we're on Wednesday. It's 1:20 a.m. 14,000 customers without power. 2:45 a.m. We got some drone footage. You guys can click the link and go check it out. You can see where the fires were, where the fires are continuing, how it's getting a little bit better. Oh, man. This is that infamous fucking tree. It reminds me of the movie with the blue people where they had that massive tree and they ended up cutting it down at the end of the movie, which was really sad. But this is a special tree. It's the largest banyan trees in the U.S. imported to Maui in 1873 from fucking India. Of much of its vegetation, satellite images show the more than 60-foot tall tree stretches an entire city block, according to the Hawaiian Tourism Authority. I mean, it's gone. It's dead. You can see the guy. Well, he's sitting on it, and all the foliage looks burned up, but the actual tree itself looks okay. So maybe that will come back to life. Maybe they were capable of saving it. I mean, you've got 9:25, over 21 people seeking refuge. More fires, 9 p.m. It's doing it again. I mean, this just goes on into Thursday. Now we're 10 a.m. on Thursday. You can start to see they're getting more drone footage. It looks like a war zone out there. It looks like a war zone. It looks like Ukraine right now. Is it Ukraine I'm looking at? No, it's Hawaii. Right, my mistake. And you know what I've been wanting to get into was the conspiracy theories on all of this happening, right? Everybody's like, well, I saw a laser coming down and all right, we'll get into that in a second. Going through, more people dispersed. The fire left historic Maui wailing. You're looking at everything in yellow is gone. It's gone. It's all devastated. You keep scrolling for the closer view, and you can just see it. It's all destroyed. Everything is gone. It just looks like ashes in my fire pit is what it looks like. They have to go around and start Xing out buildings because they can't be saved. They have to be knocked down. I mean, they lost historic churches. I mean, it is just an absolute devastation there. And, the couple things that I want to touch on real quick is one, I mean, he ended up stepping down, but they never had any sirens to get off the island or get out of the way or any warning whatsoever. They said the system wasn't working. Hey, everybody out there in every city and every fucking goddamn state across the United States, Can we make sure the fucking sirens for a really bad disaster type of thing happening, make sure our sirens are working? Maybe we should do a mandatory once a month test to make sure the shit we need to be hearing to let us know to evacuate works. Wouldn't that be nice? I think so. And the other thing, going off of the conspiracy theory of DEWs being the cause of this, I think you're all fucking crazy. I'm sorry. There's a lot of conspiracy theories I can get behind. I do not believe. I saw the footage. The footage was debunked. The footage of the lasers setting things on fire and this and that and the other thing, they were all debunked. The trees weren't proper. It wasn't the proper areas. When you look the areas up, they were nowhere near Hawaii. They were nowhere near it. Right? And I would love to have this discussion with a couple of my friends, and I think we're going to. But what I'm getting at is I don't believe that someone shot a laser. Now, I did talk to somebody else recently, this morning, and they were like, oh, I don't know, I was watching videos of the fires, and you clearly saw a laser come down in this area. I don't know what the area was. As soon as he said, I clearly saw a laser, I tuned out. I'll be honest. This is fucking nuts. All right? I get it. Right? Now, are the people saying that it's American lasers or American DEWs? I don't know. I don't think so. But I also don't think it's somebody else. Because if we find out it's somebody else and this type of a disaster is caused, I mean, that's World War III. We're done. How are we not going to retaliate for this? We're missing, I think, 1,000 people. Right? I think. Maybe a couple hundred. I don't know. It's too many. You got over 2,200 structures destroyed. And you've got a community that may not exist anymore. That's a completely rebuild. We haven't had a wildfire like this in over a century. But to not have the proper alarm system or some type of way to allow people to know that they need to get the fuck out of Dodge, and then to turn around the president of the United States of America, our fucking walking zombie of a president, Biden, just goes, no comment when he's asked about Hawaii, and then turns around and goes, we're going to give everybody $700. What? You're going to give them less than what we received as a stimulus for being locked down and told we couldn't go to work, which we all thought was a fucking joke anyways, because $1,400 doesn't give you shit, right? Now, all the people that were getting the stuff for the kids and all this other stuff, that was helping, right? That was actually helping. They were getting a check like every week, every month, whatever have you. That was actually helping. But they took that away because we can't help our own people, right? But we can give $24 billion extra dollars to fucking Ukraine. Why? Let them figure it out. We've literally done everything for these people except for put boots on the ground, which is ridiculous in its own sense because we shouldn't be involved, right? It's disgusting. But don't worry, people of Hawaii, you're going to get a $700 check if you're still alive. And that's going to make everything okay, right? Because you're going to be able to do nothing. You just lost a house, your cars, your everything. Your business is gone, your neighborhood, your block, everything is gone. What does $700 do? It does nothing. And he might go to Hawaii and say hello. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I feel like Hawaii is being treated like Puerto Rico. It's part of America. I know Puerto Rico is not on the flag. I get it. It's not a star. It's not. We say it's part of America, right? But it didn't actually make its mark on our flag. Hawaii actually has a star on our flag. It is America, is it not? Then we should have everybody there doing everything for them and giving them more than $700. Unless you're giving them $700 and rebuilding their house, maybe I could get behind that. But I'm telling you right now, man, it is such bullshit what our government is always doing for everybody else outside of this country and never doing for the people that live in it. It's absolutely disgusting, and I really do hope that one day it fucking changes. But I know, as well as you know, it won't. As long as they constantly stand behind the corporations and the rich win, we lose, they lose, and fucking Ukraine's gonna lose. And you know what that's gonna get us? Well, I mean, aren't we close to $100 billion of military aid being sent over to them? Do you know how much $100 billion would have done for this country? For your own fucking people? It would have done a lot, Biden. And for that, you're going to lose. So I've been on this kick right now. I just finished Painkillers, and now I'm watching Dopesick. And I have to say my personal opinion, I understand Dopesick was made first. I understand it's Michael Keaton. Great. Michael Keaton does absolutely phenomenal in it. It's really good. I haven't finished it. I'm on episode 6 of, I think, 7 or 8. But Painkillers with Robert, the guy that plays Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's Ferris Bueller. I'm sorry, I can never remember the actor's name. He is amazing. Amazing in it. Amazing. I watched all 6 episodes. It's got you on the edge of your seat. It's done extremely well. I love how he plays Richard Sackler. I love how everything was done about it. A lot of people are on the opposite side of the spectrum because they watch Dopesick before they watch Painkillers, so they consider it to be this bright, colorful ripoff of Dopesick. Look, it's the same fucking story, everybody. It's the same Oxycontin story. Absolutely disgusting what they were capable of pulling off because they just worded things differently or they changed a little bit of this or that and tricked them into signing off on it, and then them being able to say that it was non-addictive, less than 1%, and that the fact is you can give this to people with headaches and back pain and surgeries and broken limbs. You can use this for everybody. And I understand that now they have paid out billions, right? $4.5 billion, I believe, is the payout to all of the people that have lost family members and everything else. Because the one thing I really did understand from this was that, like, my alcoholism really ruined my life. It really didn't ruin the people's lives around me, right? It does. It doesn't go without others being affected by your addictions. But man, the way that the Oxycontin took over people, but I mean, it's basically fucking heroin, right? It's basically heroin. So it ruins everybody's lives. Because these people keep trying to get clean, they can't. They keep trying to do this, they can't. They're in rehab, they're in and out of rehab. They're doing multiple rehabs. And then you had the Oxycontin highway in Florida, where all these people started flooding to when they started restricting, the Oxycontin because they started cracking down on doctors and they started going against pain being the fifth element. It should have never been. Purdue made it all up. Purdue made it all up. Literally everything that they said about this drug was false, lies, and it was all covered up because everybody that went against them, when they got them to get on their side, they just waited a little while and then they were like, hey, come work for us. So they bought them out. Now you never speak against me. This is great. I got you, I got you, I got you, I got you. And now I've got the best team in the world. Giuliani was part of the team that was on their side, protecting them in court. I mean, has that guy never been a scumbag ever in his fucking life? I mean, I think he's going to pay some pretty hefty fines and I don't know if he's going to do time or anything for being Trump's lawyer. But holy shit, man. It was absolutely crazy. And then this happened a couple days ago. Supreme Court blocks a $6 billion opioid settlement that would have given the Sackler family immunity. Yeah, you heard me right. They were trying to stop this payout from happening. They're still trying today. I'll read this real quick. The Supreme Court on Thursday blocked Purdue Pharma from going forward with bankruptcy proceedings, which the Biden administration has called an unprecedented arrangement that would ultimately offer the Sackler family broad protection from opioid-related civil claims. And if you don't understand that, I can break it down to you in stupid terms because that's what I had to have somebody do. Basically, if they file for bankruptcy, they don't have to do the big payout that they are entitled to do, and then they get to keep all their money. Now, the lawsuit that went through, that was one. I was off. It wasn't 4.5. It was $6 billion. That's a shit ton of money, dude. And they were basically just being like, no, we're bankrupt. We're bankrupt. We got no money. We can't pay any of the claims out. We can't pay anything. And it's like, no, you can and you will. So I hope that they keep blocking this, and I hope Purdue Pharma gets to pay all these people that have just had their lives ruined, had loved ones taken away from them for a simple backache. And now you're a fucking junkie. Just awful. Absolutely awful. I had no idea it was happening when I was like 18. I mean, I definitely did Oxycontin. But I also did heroin. I also did crack. I also did fucking cocaine. I did all kinds of stupid shit that should have ruined my life. But I guess on the spectrum of addiction, I got lucky. When my body was like, I don't like any of this. Can you just give me booze? Oh, you can? Oh, then the booze is what I'll take. You want to smoke pot on the side and do some mushrooms and acid? Okay, fine. I can handle that. But all the rest of it, can you just stop doing that? I don't like it. I don't like crystal. I don't like any of it. And I was like, wow. When you start thinking of things like that, you're like, holy shit, I got fucking lucky. I got really lucky. And watching these shows, that could have easily been me if my brain was different, So it's crazy. I hope that they end up having to pay out. I hope the whole fucking Sackler family falls. And not that it's going to ruin the show for you, but it was a really, really funny comment. And I won't say what show it is, so you'll find out later. But, two guys walk into an office and they're getting talked to. And the head guy goes to the other two. He goes, can you explain to me why we're going after a chicken company? They look at each other. It was so funny. And they're like, not Purdue Farm. Purdue Pharma. Yeah, we're not going after the chicken company. We're going after the pill company, the pharmaceutical company. And he just goes, oh. I died laughing because I was like, really? A head person at this type of corporation or agency, I should say, is thinking that his people are out there building a case against the chicken company. So he was like, what evidence do you have that chicken's killing people? I'm like, dude, that's fucking great. If that really did happen, holy fucking shit. Is that not a story for everybody? Jesus Christ, you moron. But yeah, anyways, you know what I'm saying? So really, really crazy. It was really good. Pretty damn exciting. Yeah, so this is pretty wild. And this just goes to show you where the technology is today and how close we are to not being able to hide a damn thing anymore. So, in Hudson, New Hampshire, resident posed as different man for 28 years. 28 years this guy was like, I'm this guy. And I don't know how they finally found him, but they finally found him and arrested him for identity theft.
Hudson man is facing charges after stealing the identity of a Pennsylvania man. Police say 69-year-old Juan Velasquez was unlawfully holding documents and pretending to be this Pennsylvania person for the last 28 years. Velasquez was arrested yesterday on charges including identity fraud and tampering with public records. He's scheduled for arraignment next month.
I mean, that is just insane. It's just insane. So he's posing as a gentleman from Pennsylvania who supposedly moved to Hudson, New Hampshire, is what I'm going to have to assume. And 28 years later, they go, oh, that's not him. 28 years. Holy shit, man. You couldn't keep it down for 2 more years, huh? Make that 30 mark. Just like my mother-in-law. She just retired. She made it 29 years, 8 months, and fucking like so many days. So close to 30 years. You couldn't finish it off, huh? And she said the same thing. No, that guy's probably saying the same thing. He's like, how did you catch me in 28 years? But I mean, he's 69, so you take 28 away from that. He was 41. He was 2 years younger than me, right? Yeah, 2 years younger than me when he started doing this, and he made it all the way to the age of 69. And now how long is he going to be in jail for? What a fucking bummer, huh? All right, and let's see. Drone targeting homeless people in Manchester. Drone targeting homeless people in Manchester, advocates say. Items dropped from the drone include eggs, popsicles, and feces. Feces. We're dropping shit on people? I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it is the homeless, right? I mean, I don't know. Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I'm sure it's a bad thing. I'm sure it's a very bad thing. Don't do this, right? Don't do it. But is it humorous and comical? 100%. 100%. Because, I mean, let's think about it, right? The homeless are already dirty. And they probably already smell like poop. So they probably weren't upset about the feces being dropped on them. They were probably more upset about the popsicle and eggs. But then they should have been like, I don't know why this shit's falling on me, but at least I have something to eat. No? I was thinking so. But let's see what Manchester PD says.
The homeless community is very much used to being attacked. This is a whole new level of attack.
Eggs,
yeah.
Popsicles, even
have
feces.
An egg.
Those are just some of the things homeless advocate Dan Wright says have been dropped near homeless people in Manchester from a drone.
Well, near them is different than on them.
Dropped from the sky. And it's become a regular thing,
Really?
especially in areas where homeless people tend to congregate.
Manchester police confirmed to News 9 that they're aware of the attacks and have opened an investigation.
This is somebody who is deliberately targeting people with high technology, and sooner or later they're going to drop something heavy and it's going to hurt somebody.
Even though the drone drops
come
don't
on.
seem to have hit anyone yet, members of the homeless community say it's still upsetting.
It's certainly disheartening. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are just trying to stay
Wait a
alive,
minute.
let alone...
Is this motherfucker supposed to be homeless? Do you see those headphones? Those are not cheap. Those are not cheap headphones. I do not give a shit, man. So many people, and they say they have no money. They say they have no means, no way, I can't do it. But then they spend money on headphones and junk food and drugs. And they go, but I still can't afford shit. Yeah, because you fucking waste your money on shit. Those are not cheap headphones, I'm telling you right now. No way. Absolutely ridiculous. Are you homeless or are you not homeless?
Deal with extra things.
Wright says he just hopes police figure out who is operating the drone.
The people out on the streets really have it bad enough as it is without being under constant attack, let alone high-tech attack. Whoever has the time, energy, and resources to do something like this is really a sick individual.
Now, if you spot any suspicious drone activity in the Queen City, you're asked to please get in touch with police.
All right. Does that make me a sick fuck because I find it funny? Is that really? Does it make me a sick fuck? Look, nobody got hurt, right? And they're just like, oh well, it's gonna lead to somebody. Look, I've seen a lot of these drones. I've seen a lot of the ones that, people can afford. They're super tiny, they're super lightweight, and they're not that great. Now, if you want to spend $8,000, $1,000, $3,000, I was looking at drones the other day up to $5,000. They are capable of doing so much shit. Hovering, staying in place, but I did not see anything that was capable of really picking up anything of weight. Right? They still are incapable of like pulling up a ton of weight. Now, that's not to say that you can't send a drone way up in the air and drop a penny, which we all know that if you drop a penny from like the Empire State Building, there is a possibility of it going straight through somebody's body. Supposedly. Now, let's find out if that's a myth. Is that a myth? Did I just tell you a myth? I don't know. Let's find out. I'll do it. You know what? I'm going to do it right from here on my phone. Right from here, right on my phone. Here we go. You ready? Let's ask Google. Is it possible to drop a penny off the Empire State Building and kill someone? Let's see. Let's see what the old Goog says. Throwing a penny off the Empire State Building wouldn't kill somebody. A penny only weighs about a gram, and it tumbles as it falls. Okay, so... All right, I lied to you. I'm not trying to lie to you. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. But I don't think that any drone, I mean, maybe a full can of soda would fucking really hurt, right? And that's pretty light. So I guess you possibly could lift something up into the air, drop it down, and potentially hurt somebody or kill them. I don't condone any of that. But I'm not going to say dropping some eggs and popsicles and some poop on somebody isn't funny. It's fucking comical. I mean, what are you upset about? You just got a free popsicle and an egg. You can make a meal, right? You can have an egg and then you can have your dessert. And then, I don't know, you can throw your shit around, right? I don't know. What can you do with the feces? What do they do with it? They throw it at each other? That's not right. Oh, man, that was so much fun. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. I really do want to say thank you again to all of my subscribers and all the new subscribers for supporting the podcast and for doing what you do. Keep sharing the podcast. It really does help it grow. If you're new to the podcast, swinging by or checking it out, or you got sent a link, thank you. hit the subscribe button, all right? This is free for you. It's not free for me to do, so please be hitting that subscribe button. It keeps me coming back here week after week. Don't forget about the link tree, all right? It's right here at the bottom of the screen. Copy it, share it, spread this thing around. I really do appreciate it, of course. That's where you also get everything TwT, so go ahead and click it and check it out, all right? All the social, go follow. And then, of course, if you want to tell your story, maybe you have a story that needs to be heard, or you want to be a guest on this podcast with me, Talking with Topher. That's right, Talkinwithtopher at gmail.com is the official email of the podcast. It's not a scam. It's not a trick. I just want to hear your story. I want to hear how you got through your struggle, and I want to find out how you got to where you are today. So send it over to talkinwithtopher at gmail.com, and maybe you will be my next guest on Talking with Topher. With that all being said, I hope everybody out there enjoys your Thursday. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later.